Chad. Load shedding. CPR, I just want to get Keegan on board here and then we're going to kick it off. Good morning fam. How's everyone doing? Good morning from Nasna. I just want to get Keegan out of the gulag into the Zoom. Whoa, good morning, man. Good morning, guys. Almost good afternoon. Chad, are you ready? Are you ready? Keegs entering the chat right now. Shit. CPI. Just waiting for K-Riz to enter the chat here.
What's up? Yo, Chris, you really pumping the music this morning, eh?
Alright, time to get serious. Guys, I hope everyone read the disclaimer. I think I've given you enough time with the disclaimer. Just want to sort Keegs out here, give him some real estate on the screen. Good morning, Chad. How's everyone doing? Is everyone doing well? See, we've got some of the OGs waiting for the 10:15 stream. Really appreciate all of you guys joining. Unfortunately, load shedding getting the better of us today. Got some of the OGs. Sorry, I just want to get my analytics on here. Mo, just give me some feedback. Audio good, sound good. Geeks, maybe just grab Mo there in the back. Is it soft? Alright guys, CPR, let's quickly first look at what's happening in terms of today. Obviously big one, CPR, 2:30. That is what we are looking at today. And yeah, I honestly feel anything you're trading now is low probability going into the event. I would have loved to trade CPR with you guys. But yeah, I'll go through my analysis. So on the week, DXY bullish, as we've mentioned. Still no top wick on this weekly candle, so I'm still bullish on the dollar. I still feel like we can push up to this level right here. And apologies guys, we're completely out of sync this morning with everything. Let me just close this out. I'm still bullish on the week. I want to see the dollar make a top wick. So going into today, weirdly enough, yesterday closing weak bearish. We've got this top wick to the upside, and holy shit, everything is lagging here. Let me just check what's happening here. Lazarus, good morning. So we did close bearish, however yesterday was an inside day low and the high, not taking out a previous day's low or high. So could we potentially pull this as some type of support, and then obviously this resistance up here? So I would say this is your playground for the day on the dollar index. Price will most likely bounce between these two levels here and dropping down to our lower time frames. Let's just quickly set up where we are on the day. Mo, if you're on the stream, yeah, we need to look at some of the performance issues. Like there's a lot of lag. I think it's affecting the stream as well, but we'll check afterwards. So currently Asia highs holding. We're trading above the daily pivot. I do feel we are going to be very close to this region come CPI. So technically we didn't miss anything from 8 o'clock this morning. Still stuck in this little range right here. That's why I'm saying the move most probably today is going to happen from this area right there. That is where the move will happen from. I am tilted bullish due to the fact that we are bullish for the week, even if it's just to create a top wick. And also we are currently holding Asia highs. Jumping over to GBP USD, let's quickly look at where we are there. Yes, there. GBP USD, we are bearish on the week. Yesterday closed bearish as well, creating this type of resistance right there. Also, we've got this potential support area right here. So again, potential range that we are currently in. Where to from here? We already took out yesterday's low. I am tilted to the downside, and I want to see what we are doing on the lower time frames. So accumulation distribution quite heavily bearish, as you can see right there. We've already made our way down to S1. We are currently trading below Asia range. Asia lows right there. Let me just do this. And then Asia highs up here. Also trading below the pivot. I'm considering, I almost want to say I'm considering some sells right here, guys. Maybe something before CPI. I want to monitor this level right here, Asia lows 2480. Otherwise, if we can push up to the daily pivot level, I think ultimately CPI is going to make a move towards the daily pivot here at 2495. I'm gonna set some alerts here, guys. Maybe take a punt before CPI in and out. If we can get in and out before CPI, that would be great. After the analysis, I'll also go through what I am expecting for CPI and for you guys how to trade it. So Asia lows alert set. I'm gonna try and see if I can grab a sell there. Otherwise, daily pivot. There's still time to grab something. Gold. So myself and Keegan actually talked about gold this morning. So gold, very interesting level. Very interesting level. I am leaning bearish on the day. I don't know what the heck is happening with this PC, but it is so lagging. I am leaning bearish. And what I want to see is whether we can create some type of top wick. Myself and Keegan also talked about it, a potential top wick on gold all the way back to 1918, 1920, and then come down to break. But I am definitely bearish on this due to the fact that we've got this bottom wick that we've already filled, but also a break of structure. And in terms of where we are currently, we are in the Asia range. So we have not taken, we've literally created these equal lows on Asia lows, and then Asia highs are still intact. And again for gold, I feel like the 1915 area is going to be an area of contention. So CPI I think is going to make a leap somewhere here. And either we're going to push bullish from here, or we are going to come down and reject. I think now is also a good time. Keegs, what's your view? You want a deeper, eh? 1920.
Yeah, I would like deeper. Obviously looking at how things are going, I mean that weekly pivot area is a nice one. And then obviously you got the key levels slightly a bit higher up. So yeah, sorry, it's just my side, it's just quite laggy, so I don't know if it's trading view possibly. Yeah, I would like even 1916, I could look at something, but definitely actually around that area. Anything between 1916 and 1920, I'd say I'd look for a nice reaction. But definitely sells. I mean, I am bearish on the day. We are trading below the EMAs, have crossed over. Our AD is bearish. Like everything is just pointing towards it. So I definitely, my bias is going short for the day.
Yeah, guys, so if you are going to trade gold, I would honestly say I wouldn't trade anything with inside the Asia range. I would say if we for some reason start dropping before CPI and we clear Asia lows, then obviously Asia lows become your contention level 1908 below 1910. If we are starting to create like some type of bullish pressure, I would not even trade the Asia highs. I would wait for the daily pivot around about 1915, and I would use that as my potential launch pad for price to drive higher. So anything inside of the Asia range I think is low probability. This entire range I will stay out of it. Actually from the pivot all the way down here, this for me, I do not want to get stuck in this. So
Yeah, just adding to what Chris is saying, guys, you have to also keep in mind gold currently is in a ranging market. So when you go into your daily, even the 4-hour, and you really zoom out, you will get a nice clear image of it. We literally have a ranging nice big rectangle from 1940 literally to 1900 flat. So you'll see how the market broke away to the top, came back, we ranged in this market with a little breakaway to the bottom. Now the big thing we should notice is yesterday. So why also I would like the sells is the fact we did come down. We kind of set that bottom wick. You start getting these buys and everything. We never took out the low of yesterday. We came close, but we didn't take it out. And I always say to people, when it comes to liquidity is not going to maybe take away some of it or take away 80%. If it's going for liquidity, it's going to take everything. So the fact we never took out that low, you can kind of go up again, like Chris now saying, to that 1920. Have a bit of a candle for, because we have that massive bearish candle right next to us that we can't ignore. So kind of fill at least half of that candle, and that lines up like we say 1950, 1920, where we'll set that top wick and then collapse down to the bottom again to go take out that low. So just also keep that in mind.
Keeks, just get your webcam a little bit lower. There's a lot of headspace on top. We want to see that beautiful face. Keegan's not just a pretty face, he's quite a strong guy as well. Just letting you guys know out there.
Is that better? Or still a bit
yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Alright guys, yen. Let's quickly look at yen. I just want to remove this. So we filled that gap. That gap has now officially been filled this morning. It took about 2.5 days, but yeah, you can see this was that area where we mentioned the Sunday open gap sitting right here. So this morning during Asia, went there, filled the gap, and then sold off. So GJ for me on the day, let's quickly look at the daily time frame. So daily, ugly, but I can say if I'm looking left in this area right here, I do think we are gonna have a big move from here, because we've been testing this level multiple times in previous weeks. So this has been an area of major contention, 183.80, 184, and now again trying to break below it, again retesting it. So for me, mark my words, today we're going to see either a massive move to the upside or to the downside. In terms of the daily bias, I'm going to be tilted towards the long side due to the fact that I am still bullish on the week. Due to the fact that we took out a low, we didn't take out a high, and we're still closing above this area right here. So again, this weekly candle taking out last week's low could be the liquidity grab that could have been the low of the week. Yesterday we closed bullish. We didn't take out that previous low. We already took out the highs, and now looking at it from a lower time frame perspective, we are now currently trading at the Asia lows. So very interesting for me. We've broken below the daily pivot, we've come back above it. Accumulation distribution still bearish, not necessarily pointing towards longs as of yet. So yeah, not the cleanest chart to look at. We've had this massive drop, we've had the pullback, trading close to the round number. Let's see. Also at the moving averages, I'm going to set some alerts at the daily pivot level, 183.55. Let's see what we can get at the daily pivot. I want to see how price trades around this level right here. If we can do some type of structure break, I would consider some sells. Otherwise, I am staying out of this market. I'm not going to sell Asia lows with the daily pivot just below it. So we've already retested it. Just want to show you guys here. We already retested it. We pushed lower, very close to S1, and now we're currently trading back above it. So becomes lower probability. Your trade should have been here this morning on that tiny break of structure. Everything was pointing bearish, but let's see. I've got some alerts set there. Maybe we flip bullish. USD JPY, let's quickly look at what we've got going on for USD JPY. I don't know, Keegs, is your trading view also a little bit laggy? Fuck, mine is laggy.
Yeah, no, mine is also freaking out. That's what I was saying. I was a bit of a up and down trying to give that quick analysis on gold. Because the minute I say something, it takes forever to flip and react to what I'm doing.
So USD JPY, we are bullish on the week. We have yet to fill that open gap. There's no top wick on that daily candle. So I am going to go with a bullish bias for the day. Let's quickly change this to bullish. Lower time frames, let's quickly look at where we are. So we are at the weekly pivot. I just want to make sure this is the weekly pivot because TradingView has been acting up. That is the weekly pivot. Perfect. So very, very interesting. At the weekly pivot, we are technically still bullish. Also, if you look left with me, guys, you can see that this is quite a contentious area. Interesting. I'm going to set this on high alert for us, guys. So just be aware. I'm going to potentially be looking for longs on this. I want to see how we react off this pivot, whether we can hold it. We already had some type of reaction at the open. We're coming back again. So I am leaning towards the long side. If you look at the 80, still nicely trending to the upside, still holding above the 200. But let's see. I'm going to monitor this. Just give me a sec. I want to get this on my broker feed as well, so I can monitor it here from the side. I'll get that afterwards. USD ZAR, let's quickly look at it. I'm going to get to all of the questions in the chat very shortly. 2 more minutes, then we're done with the analysis. Weekly bias is bullish. Still no top wick there. We closed bullish again. Remember yesterday I mentioned, even though I had a bearish bias on the day yesterday, we did not close below this previous area. So we've created some type of support there. We've got this massive top wick to fill. I'm definitely looking for buys on USD ZAR. Let's look at what the lower time frame is telling me. We've taken Asia highs, we've taken Asia lows. That is a typical news day. 19 still up there, the 19 Rand level. Asia lows. I almost want to say, I also don't want to jump into anything. Daily pivot, guys. Let's see how we react around the daily pivot. I'll be looking for longs. We still have that open gap on USD ZAR, sitting all the way up here. Let me just grab it. Where's Sunday? Sunday's open gap. I know that gap has been closed. It's literally just dropped. I'm going to set some alerts here at the daily pivot level. I'm maybe going to take a little swing on this. 19.36. 18936 daily pivot. Let's see if we can grab something on ZAR. And then the last.
Also, Chris.
Yo.
Sorry. Also, just can you drop the Discord link in the chat? Just a reminder, guys, we are sending setups and things that are off camera over there. So if you do go over, I have just also shared my bias for CPR for news. So if you want to check that out, what I will be doing on US City for the news today, yeah, go join the Discord and you will find everything over there.
Discord link in the description of this video, guys. Feel free to check it out. See if you can join with the link in the description of the video. Otherwise, I'll drop it in the chat shortly. So Nasdaq, guys, still in a technical range. This is a range that we are in. Did mention yesterday we closed bullish up against this prior area of support, now potentially resistance. If you look left with me, massive rejection yesterday. We are bearish. Are we bearish on the week? Yeah, we are bearish on the week. We still have this weekly bottom wick to fill. So weirdly enough, everything for me is pointing down at this stage. So obviously what will cause Nasdaq and US 30 to sell, stronger dollar, higher than expected inflation number. They're actually expecting inflation to come out considerably higher, weirdly enough. So month on month they're expecting a 0.6, year on year they're expecting a 3.6, so that's quite a big jump. So the markets are expecting some type of jump in CPI. So if we get any major surprise to the upside and a massive beat, even like say a 0.9 on the month to month, and let's say this is closer to 4% year on year, we could see some volatility, guys. I'm just putting it out there. Could be a very, very volatile session. Very volatile session. I just want to check what alert came through here. But anyway, Nasdaq currently bearish. After the event yesterday, sold off the Apple event. We've been trading below the 80 for most of the Asia session. We have now officially rejected the Asia highs. We're trading below the daily pivot. Moving averages are below the 200. Where do we go from here? I would have ideally loved to sell it from here somewhere, 15,370. But if we just continue lower, I would say your next area is something like this. Asia lows 15,290. This is your area that you can trade it from. If we are going to look for buys, I would want to see Asia highs hold. That's the first thing. Once we can start holding Asia highs and we then get through the daily pivot level, that's the only time I would consider buys. For the rest of it, I would be considering sells. Buys only above the daily pivot. Nowhere near the Asia range will I be buying. And then US 30, and then we are done. Rika Che, good morning. Aram, good morning, good morning. One more minute, I'll get to all of the questions in the chat and then we can see if we can grab some trades. So yesterday, remember I mentioned I was bullish on US 30 due to the fact that we had that top wick that we could fill. Also this previous area of support there, potential resistance to go and retest that. And now, dude, weirdly enough, I feel like that could have been the high of the week. It could change. Maybe CPI surprises to the downside, but currently it is looking like yesterday was the high of the week. And we are bearish on the weekly. So US 30.
Yeah, Chris, we did speak about it there, but I do really back it. So as I mentioned in the post I shared, it is going to be very much about reacting today. I do have a key area. This is based, so Chris and I typically actually trade news. If we literally trade the news event, Chris and I actually traded very, very differently. But for something like this CPI today, I do really believe it is going to look short. And that does actually link in with my bias for gold, which gold is going to long. But again, it comes down to reacting. And like Chris said there, I really think that could be the high of the week. Because if this thing closes short and actually going to make a nice bearish candle, that would also follow perfectly for our bearish weekly candle. So this really could be the big move to make that candle form.
Agreed. And so this was this morning after the open, this would have been a sell I would 100% take. If you go into the Discord chat as well, this is one of my entry drills that I take. There's my pivot, there's my Asia high, there's my structure break. On the close of this 5-minute candle, we already took liquidity to the upside. We rejected the daily pivot. I am bearish on the day. This would have been a perfect short setup. Still in the Asia range as well, so already tested the daily pivot. Accumulation distribution, however, is still pointing upwards. So even though we are making lower lows on the AD, the moving average is still relatively bullish. So what I would want to see next is for this moving average on the 5-minute to start dipping down, and I would actually love for the 80 to come and test it and to reject it, and then to start flipping down as well. So that is my idea. How can we take sells? If we do something of like a major rejection at the daily pivot, I'll be looking for sells from there, but I'm going to go through my exact game plan with you guys after this. But currently I would say the next point of selling would be Asia lows, so somewhere here. I would not be looking at buying this market. I could be completely wrong, but I am bearish on it. I'm just putting it out there. Bearish on that market, and that is the analysis, guys. Let's jump into some questions. We've got some alerts set. USD ZAR ticking off. Let's see. One minute 31. We took Asia highs. We took Asia lows.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on gold for now. It is kind of getting a bit late, so I might not take it. But obviously we are approaching Asia highs and we are moving close to the pivot, so we might see some nice reaction off of those points.
Well, so Chris, I was thinking in regard to the 2002 milli challenge, would you mind sharing your lot size when you take a trade? That way we can learn risk management better. Well, yeah, are you in the Discord? We can look at something like that. I'll maybe put up another channel for the challenge. MSI, Chris and Keegan, when it comes to the pivot indicator, I see you have it set on auto, but these pivot points don't stay consistent when changing time frames. What time frame do you use as reference for the pivot? So anything above 15 minutes, it's going to change, but your 15-minute pivot and your 5-minute pivot is exactly the same. So 5-minute pivot, 15-minute pivot, exactly the same place. As soon as you jump higher than the 15-minute, say for instance to like the 4-hour, it's going to be at a different spot. So make some notes here, guys. The 4-hour pivot I use as my weekly pivot point. So for the most part on the week, so if you want to swing positions, you will then try and get your positions on the 4-hour pivot for the week. So that's going to be your weekly swing point. That's why you'll see I've marked out these weekly S1s and the weekly R1s, because that is different to the 5-minute time frame I trade. So weekly pivot, and then obviously on the day for my let's call it intra-session trades. So my intraday trades where I trade the session, I use my daily pivot, which is the 5-minute one. I call it the daily pivot, but you can actually call it the inter-session pivots because we only use it for that session. But once I'm considering swing positions, you'll see this additional one here to the right that says weekly pivot. So let's say, for instance, I'm trying to swing a position and I caught a short from there. I will then target my weekly S1, which is all the way down here. You see that weekly S1? So that then becomes your swing target if you are trying to swing a position, and that's 120, 124 points. I am also going to do a full, I wouldn't necessarily say a course on it, but I'll go through all of this and it will all be posted in the Discord. So join the link in the Discord. MS, I hope that helps, but in terms of trading, my day trades are using the 5-minute time frame. Hope that makes sense. What 2,000 Rand challenge is this? Algero Engelbrecht. This is a challenge of taking 2,000 Rand to wherever we can. I blew up twice already. I'm just being very transparent with you.
Guys, we've had a tough time to the start of the challenge. We're not giving up, but we have started pretty rough.
I'm feeding the market. So the first one I started on 1,000 Rand. I took it to 7,000 Rand. I went full margin on the one trade the one afternoon. I think I had like 0.08 lots open. Blew the 7k, went with another 2k, got it up to like 3.5, blew that. Yesterday went full port on Nasdaq, blew that up. So starting another 2k. I think this is my last one. My only issue, and myself and Keegan were talking about it, it's different trading, for instance, a funded account or your main account from trading like a challenge account where it's funds. Like you've got a gambler's mindset on it, and that's completely wrong. I have to be very clear on that. Having that mindset of like you don't really feel a lot for the account. It's like you force trade sometimes, you go full margin. That is completely wrong. So I need to change my mindset on that, where it's not like there needs to be like some sort of emotional attachment to it. And unfortunately that only comes once the account is grown, but we'll get there. Thanks for the information on gold. We're taking any trades now on the live. I am looking for shorts, evade tech, so I've got my alert set here. I potentially want to jab a short from there. USD ZAR, I was potentially looking at longs, but considering the fact that we've taken Asia highs and we've now also taken Asia lows, I'm going to actually wait for the Asia highs to clear, but I want to technically take some longs on USD ZAR. If you are feeling frisky and you feel like you want to put some risk on the table, if this 5-minute candle can close above this pivot, that would be a good zone. So if it can close somewhere here, I would execute on the close of that candle. But other than that, GBP USD and pound yen, two of the pairs I'm looking at trading. And then USD JPY, I'm just monitoring at this level here. This is the weekly pivot level, so we could potentially get a swing from here. Let's quickly see what else is there. Brahm, I'll have a look at USD CAD for you. Let me just load. Trading is very slow. Actually, my PC is also very slow. I don't know if it's the camera setup. But it is.
You know what this makes me think of? Someone we know quite well that bought an insane PC just to look at TradingView. This is these moments. I understand why he did it.
Dude, I might need my rig from home, but I don't necessarily want to. But I was just maybe looking at upping some bits on it.
That's dangerous. If we had to bring our rigs here, in between sessions, it's just going to into gaming sessions.
Yo. USD ZAR. If it was not CPI, I would have considered something here. it is definitely looking good for long, but I'm gonna wait for Asia highs, just due to the fact that we have taken both sides of the market, so they could trap the traders in. But other than that, this would have been a long for me. As I mentioned, for the guys that feel like they are ready to annihilate. Other than that, GBP USD, that's the one I'm waiting for. I want to see these Asia lows being retested. Would be great to put the challenge on its own channel on Discord. We would like to see the losses so we can learn where we're going wrong. No, dude, the losses I
think it's actually a good idea.
Yeah, we should.
Since we actually both started fresh now.
Dude, why are we feeding the market? I just want to know that. Like, why?
Guys, we told you, if you do what we do, you're gonna lose money. Just fade us and you will make money.
You could have already been at the million if you took all of the opposite trade. But listen here, so this is a weird thing. I sent Keegan a message last night. I'm like, on the, let's call it the 2K account, I go full port. I didn't wait for my setup. It was literally, I just wanted to click buttons. There was no real thought going into it. And then on a funded account of mine, I waited for the perfect setup. I entered on it. I just want to show you guys. So weirdly enough, the US 31 yesterday, I closed out at break even. But luckily, I'll show you the NASDAQ trade I took. I also shared it in the Discord chat. So this is the weekly pivot. So for the one guy that was asking, so the 4-hour pivot, that's my weekly pivot that I use. I also have it on, so that's the weekly pivot. And after the open, quietly sat, went full port on NASDAQ on the 2K account, blew that up. I'll show you where I blew it up, and then where I took the trade on my funded account. So weekly pivot right here, accumulation distribution was trading back above the 200 down here, and then also I was bullish on the day. So remember, my bias on the day was bullish. So as soon as that candle closed, entered the longs, and this is where the human aspect of trading comes in. 42-point stop. I was actually literally just targeting the daily pivot, which would have been a 1 to 1.5. During that time, NASDAQ was starting to drop dramatically, and I thought that US 30 is lagging behind NASDAQ and that US 30 is going to need to catch up to NASDAQ. And as soon as this bearish candle closed and this next 5 minutes just popped up and closed weak bullish like this, below the weekly pivot, I would have loved for it to regain the weekly pivot. I literally closed at entry, and 8 minutes later it popped. I told Keegan, I'm like, dude, look at this. Literally closed 5 minutes before the bang to the upside. And now I obviously have FOMO. I'm like, fuck, I missed it. And now I'm looking at NASDAQ and I'm checking that NASDAQ has been pushing bullish on the 80 like the entire session, even though it was making lower lows. And once we got to S1, this green line here, that's a support 1 pivot, and we had this minor little structure break back to the upside, I executed right on the close of that candle, 30 point stop. I just want to show you guys, there was a 30-point stop right there, and my target was the daily pivot. So remember, for the guys that have traded with us, I always try and trade between the pivot levels. So from the daily pivot to S1, from the S1 back to the daily pivot. So this was the trade I took on NASDAQ. And I think we were here somewhere when I said in the Discord chat, I entered the trade right here. I've basically moved my stops to break even. I'm targeting the daily pivot level. And guys, this is not even a lie. You can go into the Discord chat where I exited it. I sent screenshots, and as soon as I exited the trade, Nasdaq literally died from there. And that is when I just told the guys, pivots don't work, they scam. Why the heck would the market just turn around there on a daily pivot level and die? But anyway, and then the fucked up trade I took that blew me up yesterday was this one here. Completely out of context. There was no context for me to take this trade. This is purely FOMO. Asia lows. Let me just show you where I got blasted. So accumulation distribution was bullish. We were trending down the entire session after we took the daily pivot and regained it. And after I entered right here, I entered on the close of that candle there. I entered the trade, shot up. My eyes started lighting up. I actually told Keegan, I think it was up like a grand and a half. Now it's coming back to test the Asia lows. I'm like, okay, sweet. We're trying to form some support here. And while it's pump dropping here, I start stacking positions. So now I've got quite a nice stack on it. And once we closed back above the Asia lows, I was like, set and get wrecked. 10 minutes later, obviously got pile drived by this. Teleported down. Challenge account blown to smithereens.
You know, I'm looking at it now, eh? Like, obviously I saw it different from how you showed me last night. And now when I'm looking at it on the chart, like, you got body slammed into your stop loss.
Bro, it was literally...
Out.
So it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So for 25 minutes, it had me locked in here. And I'm like, guys, what a beautiful trade. And you know where I knew I fucked up? When I did this, I want to just show you guys. Once I did this, I'm like, I'm fucked. I am completely fucked because this is what the majority of the retail market is seeing. Trend line, they're seeing this flag type thing, and I'm like, dude, I am so going to get wrecked on this because this is what the retail market is seeing. Look at that, equal legs. We've got this breakout of the channel. There's the retest. Fucked. I'm like, dude, and that is exactly what. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, what are the chances? Because I'm now trading with the retail market. But anyway, got body slammed there.
Chris decided to be the liquidity yesterday.
I wanted to feed the market some liquidity for CPI today. That was the idea. Let's quickly see. Chris, I took a loss on GJ entry was on 10.5. Can you check the trade for me, please? Neil, I'll check it for you now. Rick Reed, off your chart is covered by cameras of you. Yeah, Rick, will sort that out. Can we change it so we can see full chart? Technically, you can't see the full chart. The only thing that's at the bottom here is literally just the accumulation distribution. So this is the area we're focusing on. Neil, chat to me. You took a trade 5 past 10. 5 past 10. Let's quickly look at it. Neil, what did you do? Short or long? I know you trade the 15 minute. 15 minute sell. 5 minutes or 15 minutes?
Creds, though.
Who, me?
The fact that you taught him, yeah, you taught him so well that literally you look at the markets and you will know that man took a trade there.
Yeah, Neil, I'm trying to. So Neil, okay, 10:05. Neil, I can't see how you could have taken a trade 5 minutes past 10 because it was trading above the daily pivot. We also had no structure break, so I don't know what your entry criteria would have been for the sell.
He was feeling frisky.
Remember, Neil, I think it was last week where I mentioned if I'm looking for sells and I'm trading so close to the Asia lows and I've got a pivot literally just below the Asia lows, I'll always rather wait for the pivot. I wouldn't sell from the Asia lows. So I think what you could have been trading is this here. Maybe you could have seen this as the structure break, but again, that is valid, but not in the case of your daily pivot literally sitting just below that. Sold from Asian high. But how did you take a loss if you sold from the Asian high? It never took the Asian high.
Yo, I'm so confused right now.
Low, Asian low. Yeah, so I think you took this, Neil. So your only mistake there was this is a valid entry on it, but again, as mentioned, if my daily pivot is sitting so low or so close to the Asia low, I'm rather going to wait for the Asia low. So if this entire entry, I think your entry drill was on this. So if this entire setup you see there was literally just lower and that break occurred on the daily pivot, perfect, but I wouldn't have taken this. Yeah. That's also even why I said, even if we reject here now, I wouldn't sell there. I would wait for, that's why I've set my alerts on the daily pivot. Where did you get the accumulation and distribution strategy from? Rick, it's actually on YouTube. I just added a little spin. I'll actually send you the link in the comment section. It is on YouTube. I think it's the YouTube channel is Mindset something. Let me find it for you guys. So the strategy is nothing new. It's been around for ages. It's not something. Let me just find it. Is it Mindset Millionaire? I'll quickly find it for you guys. To be very honest with you, there's not one strategy out there that is completely proprietary. Everyone's got their own view and their own spin on it, but any strategy that's traded out there, there'll be content on it on YouTube. It will be in some trading book. Nothing is completely new or proprietary or that you've never seen. Millionaire Mindset, Paco, you are 100% correct, my brother. So I'm going to share the strategy with you. You can go and see it there in its very simplest form. And then I will also tell you how I've adapted the strategy to make it my own. Is it Millionaire Mindset? Let me just...
Isn't Millionaire Mindset Jay's channel?
I think that is Jay's channel, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just see If I can find it. Secret Mindset, correct. I think it's an Asian guy that his videos are very high quality. Secret Mindset. Yes, it is the Secret Mindset. Let me quickly find the strategy, then you guys can go through it, and then I'll just add on the different elements that I've added onto it. Yeah, it's the Secret Mindset, guys. Secret Mindset. I think he did 2 videos on it. Yeah, here's it. He shared it 4 years ago. Let me just find it for you guys. Alright, I got it. I think it's this. Let me just see. Dude, I don't know what, if it's our internet or this PC, but we'll have to sort it out. Sorry guys, just want to check that it's the right one. I don't want to share. No, it's not this one. Let me just make a note. I will share it. Neil, did I not share it with you as well? I think I shared it with Neil. Sorry guys, I'm just going to make a note. I'm going to share it in the Discord. So that's basically the fundamentals around. There's a lot of videos. You can just go pivot strategy, accumulation distribution. I will share that with you guys in the Discord. So what I have done to make it different is I've added the Asia range, which is from ICT. So using the Asia range from 12 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning my time, this blue box. And I've then basically compiled that with my daily bias, how I use the daily time frames to establish my ranges. So there is a little bit of my own flavor that I've added, but ultimately I cannot take credit for the strategy in terms of it's not something new. The pivot strategy actually comes from stock traders. So just to let you guys know, it's highly used in stock trading circles. Neil pointing out GU rejecting the Asia lows. Neil, my question is, do you feel like this one engulfing candle is enough with the high trading below the daily pivot? We've got CPI coming. Guys, if I can get my broker terminal open, I might consider a sell now on GU. I'm considering it. Let me just see. I don't know what the heck. Dude, my entire PC is like non-existent. Keeks, you think it's naughty taking a trade before CPI?
I don't feel like it's naughty. I feel more if you can get away with it, like if you can like react and move, 100% go for it. But if it starts hovering around in an area before CPI, then I think you're in trouble.
Alright guys, I'm going off risk right here. GU, selling it right here, off risk. I'm gonna give it a squeeze.
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
15 pip stop. I just sold GU. I'm gonna set my TP at session lows, 33 pips. I took a sell right there. Let me just edit my
Okay
trade.
guys, I just bought GU.
No man, Keeks, I thought we were friends, but what's happening here? So 2490. I find it, yeah, dude, it's actually going against my grain, but it is a valid setup. We can't let CPI deter us from taking the trade, but let's see.
What's your TP sitting at? Like how much percent?
2.2%.
You just need 1.5.
No. Guys, after I'm finished with this, I've never done I've done funded challenges years ago. And I told Keegan just to test myself with the funding challenges to see, like, because I've been self-funded like for the most part of my trading career. I will show you guys the equity curve, how I went from 6% up down to minus 0.5%, back up to 6.5% in a matter of 5 days. So it is absolutely crazy, but did I miss any questions here in the chat? I only went off risk, so it's technically not a 2.4, it's going to be a 1% trade, Geeks. I went with half my normal risk. Rick Reed, when you say the cameras, yeah, we'll change it. I'll chat to Mo, maybe get the cameras here on the left. It gives us more real estate on the right. I think that's a better option. We'll look at doing something like that. What's your advice on being new and taking a few losses and still keeping the mental game? I'm technically still doing well.
Just go full margin.
I'm technically still doing well, but feel like my confidence is taking shots. A rhyme, the first thing I would suggest is less is more. So I don't know what strategy you trade, but obviously your strategy has got like your A+ setups, and I feel this is something that I've spoken to Neil to as well. I said the first thing you need to do is just get consistent, like forget the profits. Mentally you just want to reinforce yourself to get to a stage where you are winning. Because if you are churning out profits every week, even if it's a small percentage, you are reinforcing yourself mentally that you can win. And now it builds confidence. And then after that, you can start adding layers to it. But when it comes to trading, take the low hanging fruit, like the setups that are easy to spot, the setups that you know work well, and less, like you don't have to trade every day. Some of the top traders out there trade maybe once or twice a week, some even 4 times a month. I think Carl, we had on the stream as well, Geeks, he mentioned like 3 trades a month, 4 trades a month.
Yeah, so Carl, like a good month, like you were saying, I mean, a good week is like 1 trade a week.
Yeah.
If a great week is maybe taking 2 trades a week, but his normal bias is like 1 trade a week, and that's it.
And Carl is honestly a very good trader. He's churning out very good results, but he's got that mental fortitude to not wanting to trade every day. He knows that he's got his setup that he waits for. He's got his 8+ setups, and there's no need to rush it, or there's no need to push it.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, again, like we spoke about this, even for example like Alex G, how he's trading at the moment, and that's the thing, like when Carl trades, he's a very big advocate of risk to reward. So when he takes a trade, like he's not taking anything less than a 1 to 3. So he'll take a trade where he'll land up with a 1 to 5, 1 to 6, and that's why he can take 1 trade a week, but it's 1 solid trade. And again, that is still a day trade. That is not him swinging. Like, for people that don't know, he will open that trade, let's say open of London session, which he likes, and he will hold it till about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then he closes. So it's not that he's holding this trade for days or weeks, and he's getting those type of results.
Yeah, Neil, very good point there. Focus on 1-to-1s, 100%. Even myself, I take 90% off at a 1-to-1 unless the market is honestly moving. I'm literally here every single day just chipping away a single, and you think it's not a lot, but at the end of the month, if you look back, if you chipped away 3-4% a week, and now imagine you are a funded trader trading that across say 3 or 4 funded accounts, that becomes a big number. Brahm, I did not forget, apologies, my PC is very slow. I need to check it out after the stream. I don't know if it's the camera or whatever it is, but everything is very slow and laggy on it. I don't even know what the quality of the stream is like, but USD CAD, I don't know if it's the internet, because we've got a 1 gig line in here, so I think 1 gig download and 500 meg upload, but this is slow as shit. But anyway, USD CAD on the weekly time frame. Let me just jump to it on the weekly time frame for you. So weekly, I was technically bullish to start off the week due to the fact that we closed above this previous area of resistance. We also broke this intermediate resistance area. Again, we've got no top wick on this weekly candle. We've pushed down. I would have started off the week bullish to fill that wick. That would have been my bias for the week. On a daily time frame, I would have been bearish on Monday due to the fact that we failed to move higher from here. We failed to hold that support area, and we also failed to hold this previous area of resistance, which did not become support. So technically after Monday's daily close, I would have been bearish. But now, considering no top wick on the weekly, and still considering that the overall market structure on this is still bullish, that would sit in the back of my mind of, are we going to push bullish one of these days? But I can't be bullish while we are breaking structure lower. So for today as well, I would have been bearish. On the 5-minute time frame, let's just look at where we are. Accumulation distribution is quite messy, as you can see. It's not providing any clear direction. It's trading above and below. So this is indicating indicating like very rangy price action, no clear direction. And even if I zoom out a little bit, you can see like from yesterday afternoon we've been in this broader range. So I would say I honestly don't have a setup on USD CAD. I wouldn't trade this. Like, it's at the daily pivot, it's already taken Asia highs, it's technically below the 200, but it is not very clear for me. So I would say wait for today. Correct, Ricochet. I think proper structural setup after CPI. I think a lot of guys are waiting for CPI, and I think a lot of institutions are also waiting to see what the CPI figure is going to do. Guys, I'm just gonna run quickly to the toilet and I will be back. Follow us on Instagram. Feel free to leave a like on the stream. I see we've only have 13 likes. We're almost 30 viewers. Can we maybe get some likes? Sorry, to support the channel. Again, I really appreciate you guys for joining in. Apologies for starting the stream 10:15. Unfortunately, we had load shedding from 8 till 10, so nothing we could do. Evade Tech, what pivot indicator do you have on? It's just the standards pivot, pivot standard or pivots traditional. That is the only thing. Carl from MMX, I don't know, is Carl's thing called MMX, Keeks? Sorry, you muted, bud. Oh, you just tilting your
Yeah,
head.
sorry, I was trying to come back to the channel to unmute myself, but it's just freaking taking forever. Yeah, it's MMFX.
So where can I hold USD JPY? Sorry, but I'll check it now. Evade Tech. I don't know, where are you in from USD JPY? If you took it from the pivot, I would obviously say your next area of interest is Asia highs. And if you can break Asia highs, you can technically hold it. If you took it from this weekly pivot, your target is all the way up here at 148.43. I'm expecting you saying that you bought it from the weekly pivot. If that's the case, your technical weekly target would be 148.40. I would say is a safe area. So that is, did you buy it from the weekly pivot? If so, and you don't get stopped out, that's a very nice 120 pip trade. 6% if you are risking 20 pips on this. But guys, let me just, I've drank so much water, let me just quickly run to the toilet. I'll be back Monday to Friday. Follow us on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. I will see you now. Geeks, just remind me to unmute my mic when I get back. Keegs, Neil asked you, how was your leg session?
It was a bit brutal though. One of those you feel okay, but when the muscles start relaxing and you lay there in bed and it's just spasm after spasm. So yeah, it was a bit of a brutal one last night, but we made it.
Jade Pass, I'm waiting for a 5-minute change of character for GU to sell. Sweet man, may the volume change the character for us here. Honestly, so this for me is a lower probability trade, purely due to the fact that I've seen so many times when news events, like price will be very close to the daily pivot. So there's still a couple of hours left before CPI event, but again, for the most part, your daily pivot, that is where they're going to try and park price and try and manipulate price. So I want to say there's a very low probability for this trade to play out. Like, I'm going to wait. What is it? Let me just check what the 30-minute did. So I want to almost say if we break this 30-minute low, I'm going to go break even. We technically already broke it. So I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to go break even on this, guys, because we have technically broken that 30-minute low, and I do not want to see this come back up and break its own high. So I am going risk-free on this trade. It is CPR. There's absolutely no reason for us to take on unnecessary risk. If it comes back to our entry, that is also fine, but taking on additional risk that we don't need. Currently up about 6 pips. Break even, risk-free trade. Let's see if it can run. But again, I've got a weird feeling we are going to trade somewhere closer to the pivot before CPI. I would be very surprised if they just flush it from here before CPI. Alright guys, so just to give you, okay, Dorito Demon, good to see you back, my brother. Hi Chris and Keeks, hope you are having an amazing day. Good luck with your trades moving forwards. Dorito, appreciate that, my brother. Same to you. The best of luck with all of your trades as well, and may we all win. Ultimately, that is what we are trying to do here, making sure that everybody wins. Everybody's gaining value and everybody's growing as a trader, not just as a trader, but just as a human being in general. Daily pivot is right at my supply zone. Beautiful, beautiful. I think it has a good chance of retesting S1. It might just play out. Yeah, Rika, that would be fantastic if that is basically a 1-to-1 right there. I'm going to try and squeeze it to the session lows. Let's see. Moving very slowly, gingerly. Hey Chris and Keeks, I'd like to know, when setting up your daily points, are they based on Asia sessions, previous lows and highs test past weeks? So TC, myself and Keegan trade quite differently. Keegan trades more key levels, so he's got his set key levels, and we'll maybe look at doing some videos on that as well for the Discord. We wouldn't necessarily share it here, but Keegan is more a key level trader, and he also uses the Asia range, high and low, and the daily pivot is basically just the indicator provides that with for you. So as soon as the previous day ends, you'll then get your new daily pivot. So this never changes. This is like set for the entire day. And then the Asia low is basically your trading range from 12 o'clock South African time to 6 o'clock in the morning South African time. And then I just take the bodies of that, and that's my Asia low and high that I consider. Alright guys, I'm going to give you the breakdown as to how to trade the news, CPI. I'm going to try and draw it out to the best of my ability. So firstly, I would want to see CPI trading around a pivot level. So if I am bullish, I'm obviously looking at my accumulation distribution, which is now all of a sudden, okay, here's my accumulation distribution. But if I am bullish on the market, my accumulation distribution is pointing up. I wait for the first 5 minutes after the release. In a bullish case, what I would want to see is I would want to see something like this. And I'm going to draw it out for you guys very nicely so you can screenshot it. And I want you guys to really understand what I'm doing. So let's do this. In a bullish scenario, this is my ideal setup. Let's call it my A+ setup for news. I'm bullish, my accumulation distribution is pointing bullish, and I get a small bullish candle with a massive top wick, something like that. This right here is my A+ setup. What I wait for, I then wait for the next 5 minutes to create the tiny little bottom wick. Sometimes it doesn't even create it. And then on the flip, I've got buy stops to come and fill this wick. Stops literally below the bottom wick of this 5 minute candle. So it can be 3 pips, 4 pips. And I then target 80% of that wick fill. It is a very high probability setup. Your risk to reward is very good, and do not be greedy. A lot of times it will fill the wick and it could reverse, and a lot of times it can just continue. So take your 80% and run. The other scenario is that we are bearish on the market, and this becomes now a red candle, and you get something like this. Let me just move this. What is this? My goodness. The other scenario is you've got something like this. It closes bearish below the pivot. Usually there's some type of structure to your left. It will either be something like this, where the market was trying to push up and then this candle broke structure. Massive bottom wick, again, same thing. Wait for the top wick to form. As soon as it flips, I'm in. Stop loss just above that 5 minute candle, targeting the wick fill. And again, why is my stop loss just above that 5 minute? Because the market is filled with volume. If it flips bearish and it does not come to fill that wick and it comes back up, highly likely I'm on the wrong side. So no need for 30 pip stop. It needs to drive into that direction. And that is the setup, simple as that, for news.
Yeah, Chris, I don't mean to rush you, but obviously just keep an eye on the time, eh?
Oh yeah, so I must actually send that Zoom link now as well. Alright Chad, I've got a lot of meetings that I need to attend to. I really appreciate you guys for joining. We are in a trade. Let me just see if we're still in. Let me just remove this right here. We are in actual fact still in this trade. It's running about 6 pips. I'm gonna leave it. I will update you guys. It is off risk. It's currently running at like 0.3%. I'm gonna leave it. Let's see if we can hit a TP. I'll update you guys in the Discord. Please feel free to like the stream. Still only on 19. Obviously you guys don't like winning, so no stress about that. For the guys that did like, appreciate you. For everyone joining, we will see you guys tomorrow. No load shedding. Let me just check what the load shedding schedule is like for the rest of the week.
Yeah, guys, I think while Chris checks that, yeah, the game for CPR is a big one today. Trade safe, be patient. At the end of the day, still back your setup, but there's going to be a lot of volume, a lot of volatility. And for those guys in the Discord, if you are going to trade CPR, share some of your results with us. We'd love to see them.
Guys, unfortunately Friday we fucked again. We've got load shedding from 8 till 10 again, but maybe they get their shit together and we go from stage 6 to stage 4. But nonetheless, tomorrow's fine, Thursday's fine. Okay, tomorrow is Thursday, my goodness. But anyway, tomorrow we good. Friday, let's hope for stage 4. And other than that, join the link, join the Discord link in the description. Trade safe. We've had a phenomenal week. Not gonna lie, if you were following the Discord, you were following on the streams, you would have passed your funded account this week. No stress. We haven't taken a loss this week, which is phenomenal. It feels good. Obviously need to go and touch some grass after this. Just humble myself. Keep it humble. It's usually after times like this where you can start getting loose. So just be very careful. But yeah, guys, really appreciate it. We will see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe, CPI. I've given you guys the playbook, how you need to do it, and if you do it, you should be safe. What are we gonna have for the outro song? Give me a song that is not copyrighted. Okay, I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm not even gonna risk getting the stream taken down. So guys, see you tomorrow. CPI, trade safe.
Cool. Cheers, guys.